This is Faisal Khan for Lights Out in association with Shamrock Boxing. And with me via Zoom, I'm delighted to be joined by Birmingham's very own Mr. Raza Hamza. Raza, happy belated birthday, bro. Good evening to you. How you doing?
I'm okay, bro. How are you, man?
I'm very well, thank you for asking, my brother. Belated Eid Mubarak to you as well. How have you been the last couple of weeks?
Um, Better. With lockdown first, things were hard, bro. But then once Ramadan come along and the the kind of lockdown thing went out the window because Ramadan come and everybody was out and about and everybody carried on, and yeah, it's been better than what it was first, isn't it? What, don't you agree?
Yeah, no. I believe that we're slowly getting back to some sort of normality. A few restrictions have been lifted. Football dates for the return have been set. We understand Bob Arum's obviously putting on a few shows, looking to do about 15 shows between June and July. Just watching the news lately, there's obviously the stuff's going to be happening again. So, has there been any news sort of from like your side as to when you can be expected to be back in the ring?
Funny you saying that. I spoke to my trainer and manager earlier. I'm with Tunde now. Tunde manages me. Tunde Jai. Spoke to Haroon earlier. I can be boxing at the end of July, but once again, it depends. We're gonna go back into training from Monday. I've been doing bits and bobs, but once I find my feet again, and once I feel comfortable, I'll know when I'm ready. I won't be rushed or just jumping into anything. I'm gonna start training, and within 4 or 5 weeks, we'll know my timing will be back and everything will be back. And I think early August, late August, probably.
It's good. It's good that you've obviously been given some sort of a date and an indication as to when you'll be back in the ring. And obviously, you just mentioned you signed up with Tunde Ajayi, so things are looking good for you in terms of going forward. The reason, obviously, today I wanted to speak to a few of you guys, but due to family issues and a couple of technical issues, it's just me and you, which I don't mind because every time I have a conversation with you, it ends up with a good laugh and a giggle. Being a being a Pakistani boxer like yourself, it's one thing about the Pakistani community. It's very hard to get a good backing. And now, growing up as a young Pakistani, your parents have aspirations that they want you to become a lawyer or a doctor, but fighters like yourself chose the boxing route. And one why I wanted to do this was because I wanted to ask you and a few others. What was it like when you decided that boxing was going to be your career, and was you backed by your family and obviously your local community?
Um, I was about 12, 13 years old, when I started doing well. I started going to national finals and I started doing pretty well. And, by the age of 16, I had a choice. I can go to Hopwood Hall Boxing Academy or I can go college. And I decided to go to the academy, and that's when I knew this was my everything. This is all I knew. I needed boxing to work for me. So what I did was, I just from the age of 16, I knew it was my main priority, and this is the thing I wanted to do. And that's when I took everything serious. Maybe 15.
And of course, when you decided that boxing is going to be what you'll be doing for, as a profession, what was what was it like, telling your family that this is what you want to do? How were they supportive of it? And in terms of your community, how much of a help were they for you at the start and of course now in your career?
Starting off with my family, like it's been different for me. Like many people know, it's been very different for me. I've had a different upbringing. I lost my mother, my granddad at a very, very young age, and this is what my mother wanted me to do. So, whether my family liked it or not, I was gonna do it. Like whether they supported it or not, I was gonna do it. But I just got on with it, and like to say, anything you love, you put your mind to it. My family said, if you want to box, put your mind to it. Do it 100%. Don't do it half-hearted. So I put my mind to it, and my family supported. They supported me. They helped me. They never ever once questioned should I do it or not, and they were very understanding. And the community, I come from Birmingham, Aston, Birmingham. So at first, it's like everywhere. You gotta prove yourself. You gotta prove that you're worthy of people supporting you. And up until now, I don't think the community have really got behind me much, because once again, you know what Asian people are like, Pakistani
Mm.
people especially. But now I think slowly, I'm beginning to build a good following in Birmingham from my community. Because over Ramadan I did a lot of good things, charity stuff. I was doing live videos, so I'm kind of attracting a crowd which ain't all boxing. I'm trying to bring them all together. So my community are supporting me now, but at first it was hard, man. It's like getting blood out of a stone. You don't get much support around here. It was all the people from other places who support you. But yeah, my family eventually supported me when they knew that I worked very hard, and my community are now beginning to get behind me.
When I obviously speak about Asian Pakistanis in boxing, I do believe this current generation we've got is probably the best we've had for a very, very long time, because there's yourself, Shabazz Masood, Hamza Shiraz, Shafkat Khan. There's loads of good young Asian British fighters out there that are going to go on to achieve so much more. But because boxing is so popular now, and because social media plays a part in it, do you feel that fighters such as yourself
Mm.
are going to get that push that you deserve in terms of achieving your goals, such as winning the British outright, selling out arenas, and maybe even one day getting world title shots?
As harsh as it sounds, it's not about if we're gonna get this shot. For the first few years of my career, I was always dependent on if, if, if these people back me, if that person backs me. No, I am a good fighter. I know my worth. I know I will go myself and get it. For example, I have told myself, you have to do it yourself. If you wait around for everybody else, it never happens. Sometimes you might have to go down the hard route. Sometimes you might have to take chances you don't want to take. So I just believe every fighter coming up now has to go out there and do it themselves and not rely on other people to do it. But that's my personal opinion. But once again, yeah, I really believe I am going to do big things, and I'm going to sell out stuff as long as I've got a good team around me.
I mentioned obviously a kind of like a generation. I like to call it the golden generation, because
Yeah,
when people talk about boxing, they don't really know the talent that's out there, especially Asian, British, Asian Pakistani wise. And I know how good of a fighter yourself is, Hamza Shiraz is, Shabazz Masood. I know how good you kids are, and how
yeah.
dedicated you are to the sport. I mean, what do you make of your generation coming up? Of especially of the talent, and in terms of what you guys could possibly achieve.
I think it's amazing. I think we've got some young, hungry fighters, and I also believe there's the likes of myself and the boys you mentioned, there's another batch of fighters coming up too, who are maybe better than what we are, maybe better than what we was. But I think Asian boxing right now is at its best it's ever been. It's at its high strength with the boys. I mean, you've got a lot of top Asian boxers with good promoters, winning titles, chasing their own dreams, chasing their ambitions, and I think it's at its best. But, and they're very dedicated. They're very, very dedicated. But I do also believe that there's a better batch of our Asian people coming up. There's some more good amateurs. Like when we were amateurs, I remember looking at certain fighters and thinking, "Whoa, I want to be as good as that." You get it? Now I've sparred them and I'm thinking I'm better than them. And I know there's kids who are coming up now and looking at us and thinking, "Whoa, these guys are good, good." But in 2 or 3 years, they'll be knocking on major doors, because I've heard there's some really good kids coming up now.
When I asked you about the backing of your community, and you told me how hard it was at the beginning, why do you think it was hard at the beginning, and why do you think you know elderly Asian parents are very like reluctant to jump on this bandwagon and get behind the local fighters such as yourself and the other guys coming up?
It's not that. It's let's be honest. Whenever you tell an Asian parent you're a boxer, straight away they compare you with Amir Khan.
Mhm.
Straight away, sorry, are you there? Are you
Yeah,
there?
yeah, I'm right here. Yeah,
Sorry, somebody rang me, right?
it's okay.
If they ring again, I'll cut them off. It was on do not disturb as well.
Don't worry about it. It's
So
all right.
when you're straight away they compare you with Amir Khan. Everybody that sees you boxing says, "Oh, he's Amir Khan level." Remember Amir Khan when he come along, he come with a bang, bang. He had everybody behind him. He never asked people to support him; they supported him. And Asian people believe that we are only gonna support you if you're on that level. You get it? You know this.
Hmm.
They don't want to support you. They don't want to buy tickets. They don't want to support the small holds. They just want to be at the top with you. They just want to be there when you're there, and that's the sad truth. Whether you agree with it or not, people don't want to help you when you're right at the bottom coming up. They want to just be there when you're at the top.
I think one of the problems is that there's not enough patience around it, and obviously the first couple of years of your professional career are the most toughest ones. You know, trying to gain a fan base, trying to get a big promotional deal, and it is difficult. And I do think a lot of patience play a part in it. But as you mentioned, obviously Amir Khan, you know, we can't knock what he's done in boxing. Olympic silver medalist, you know, two-time world champion. He's fought the best fighters. He's never, you know, shied away from a challenge. Why do you think it is that it's been a very long time since we've seen the next Amir Khan in the sport of boxing?
Because, I mean, being as harsh as I am, there was one Prince Nassim, right? There won't be another Prince Nassim.
Mhm.
There was one Amir Khan. There won't be another Amir Khan. Like, people need to stop comparing themselves to these guys, because these guys built their own legacy, built their own names. You can't be them. For example, look at this now, right? You see Mike Tyson. Is there going to be another Mike Tyson?
No, there's not.
Therefore, I mean, why? How is there going to be another Amir Khan then? Amir Khan is him. Mike Tyson was him. Prince Nassim was him. People need to stop thinking that they're going to be that. People need to be themselves
Mhm.
and build up their own name. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Or am I not making
No, no,
sense?
no, no, no. You're making perfect sense right now.
So Amir Khan, there won't be another Amir Khan, because he had success at a very young age because of what he had accomplished before he turned professional. Prince Nassim once again had success at a very young age because he turned pro at a very young age. Fighters like myself, fighters like Shabazz, Hamza coming up, we might all have success at later ages. You get it?
Hmm.
Like, I'm 27. My peak years are now from 27 to 31, 32. I might have my success then. Everybody has their own success, and whatever written for them will come to them at the same time. I believe that. But with our Asian community, they just want to see you at the top to support you. They don't want to pay £40 for a ticket. I'm being real to you. You ask an Asian person to buy a ticket from my area. If I
Hmm.
ask an Asian person to buy a ticket from my area for £40, before I leave him, he'll have text 15 different other guys saying, "Yo, man, dickhead wants me to buy a ticket to his fight." You understand what I mean?
Hmm.
It's an ego thing as well. They just want, and you can be with Asian people. You can be a great fighter. You can be amazing. You can be killing it, knocking everybody out. The moment you lose, what will they turn around and say? Answer it yourself. What will they turn around and say?
It is a bit of a hype job.
No, he was shit anyways.
I
He was
mean,
shit anyway.
I
And listen,
guess.
I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth of the truth. I'm telling you this is how it is.
Mm.
There will not be another Khan. There will not be another Naz. You can be yourself. You might get success at a young age. You might get success at a late age. But our community do not support you until you are somebody.
Mm.
You understand?
But do you not think like, yeah, I know you mentioned there won't be another Prince Nassim, there won't be another Amir Khan, but do you not think there's potentially there's a fighter out there somewhere like yourself that could be better than a Prince Nassim or Amir Khan that maybe you can achieve so much more?
Absolutely, absolutely. I believe in myself that I can probably do it, and I'm sure every other fighter believes in themselves that they can do it. If you're in this sport and you don't believe that you're going to reach the heights them boys achieved and got to, you're in the wrong sport, bro. You
I
might as
was,
well go home and
you
work in a
literally
chip shop.
you literally just took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah.
You have to believe. I'm 27. Like, I still tell myself, yo, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. I'm gonna do it. If you don't believe that you're gonna get to that level, you're in the wrong sport. So you have to believe you are the man. You have to believe you're better than them. You have to. You're
Hmm.
telling me when they were coming up, and Amir Khan was gonna fight Barrera, or he was gonna fight Kotelnik or anybody, Medina. He never told himself, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna smash it. He never had in his back of his, oh my God, this is Barrera. You get it?
Hmm.
You have to believe in yourself.
With obviously what you've experienced, the tough times in your career, i.e., getting the support and the backing, what would your message be to the parents now? Not just parents, but obviously the Asian communities. What would you say to them if a young fighter was coming up and they needed that support and backing?
Um, my main my main thing I can tell them is when your sons or your children go to the boxing gym and they start boxing, you need to understand one thing about this sport. This sport isn't just going in the ring and punching lumps out of each other. This sport is teaching your children manners,
Mhm.
teaching your children discipline, keeping your children in the straight and narrow, keeping your children off drugs, keeping your children off alcohol. This sport is a beautiful sport because this sport will keep your children fit and healthy for a very long time, though. Support them because a lot of kids like myself, we never had nothing. We weren't academically smart. We would have been, if I went boxing, what would have I been right now? I don't know. You get it?
Mhm.
Boxing has kept me in the straight and narrow. And if you can keep me in the straight and narrow and keep me out of certain places, I'm sure you can keep everybody else at a certain place. So the parents should get behind their children, support them, back them. Obviously, you're scared because they're your children. You don't want them to get hurt. But I'd rather you let them go to the boxing gym and perform and make you proud them be in the streets and do wrong things.
Well said, Razan. Hopefully, obviously, this interview can reach out to many people and make people realize that like you said, it's a sport of manners and it's a professional sport. And if there is a young kid out there that has ambitions to become the next best thing in boxing, we should do everything we can to support it. I mean, how long does it take to click the follow button on Instagram?
Absolutely.
How much is £40 to go and look at the local talent?
Absolutely.
It's nothing. And I really
Absolutely.
really do hope the next generation that comes up, because I do, when I speak to fighters like yourself, Shabazz, and obviously Hamza and Shafkat, I do believe we've got a very very good set of fighters coming up right now. And do believe that this generation needs more backing and it does need more support, because there is a lot of potential in you guys. So hopefully, this interview is going to reach out to many many people and it'll make them
Yeah.
realize that we need to do more. I mean, there's always so much that a community can do to help a young fighter. Last question for you, Raza, before we end the interview. What's the message to the younger generation that have just walked into the gym, that have just put their gloves on for the first time, from the journey, from the second that the journey starts to the finishes? What would your message be to them?
Do what you love. Do what you love. Boxing's a sport. When you walk into the gym, you know, well, I remember being the kid walking into the gym. I never had gloves. I never had gum shield. I never had wraps. I got the gloves off the rack. I put them on with the sweaty, smelly gloves people use. But I loved it. Kids, do what you love. That's number one. Do what you love. Number two, listen to your parents. Respect your parents. Number three, respect everybody else. And the sky's the limit, man. The sky's
Mhm.
the limit. If you really want to do something in life, nothing can stop you. The only person who stops you is yourself and your mindset. So whatever it is you're doing, whether it's football, boxing, whatever, put your mind to it, stay focused, listen to your parents, listen to your trainers, and work hard.
Top man, Raza, my brother, pleasure as always. Always good speaking to you. Good luck in terms of going forward, and hopefully this message will reach out to many people, and it'll help the community take serious what you guys are doing. And once again, massive respect to what you guys are doing. Not only are you going out there to be successful, but from the greatest of fighters to the journeyman, you have to take your hats off to the guy that gets into the ring because he's putting it all on the line.
Yes, absolutely, man. You need to respect everybody in this game. But yeah, thank you very much.
No problem. My pleasure as always. Raza, thank you very much for speaking to Lights Out, and we look forward to catching up with you pretty soon.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you.